Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. We're going to close out the Thursday Santa Anita card with our DRF bets race of the day. It's the 8th 5.5 furlongs. It's a maiden special weight. If you sign up for a new DRF bets account, you can bet this card. $150 sign up bonus, drf.com/join. Promo code TV150. Let's take a look at this field. We've got some first time starters. You're betting blind if you're betting into the pick six or the last leg, any of these picks. So hopefully we can give you some information. And you can also download your free Formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. We'll handicap this field in post-position order. Matt, the number 1 Dutton's Legend. What was up with the spot first time out?
I have no idea. When I first went through this race, going just in post-position order, I said, all right, well, this is a non-winners of one other than. And I looked and saw we have first-time starters and we got maiden special weights. And I'm going, why did this horse debut in a non-winners of one other than? You know what? For whatever reason it was, I have no doubt that Mike Pipey had a method to the madness, because I think Pipey does a very good job. But this horse, she showed big speed, went out there and just completely paid the price, completely melted down the lane. You faced better horses. You see Uvetsi came back, earned an 84. Phantom Proton came back and won next out with an 80. This horse is a half to Mei Ling. I know you and I never really loved Mei Ling, but she was okay. She was a stakes winner. I think she could move forward, and she's getting class relief.
She's getting class relief, and we know she's got big speed. She's a Tappet. She was bought back for $375,000 as a yearling, and that speed should play, as we see from the Timeform US pace projector. I mean, if she gets out there and nobody bothers her, she might be feeling great turning into the stretch, realizing that there are no winners chasing her this time around, and she might be a playable price. It's probably best to treat her as a first-time starter. Speaking of first-time starters, we've got the number 2 Copper Fever. This is a $240,000 yearling buyback by Street Cry, 9% with older debut runners. This dam was a pretty nice horse, Matt. A multiple stakes winner going long, 3 times grade 1 placed.
Yeah, you brought it up. She's got a lot of class in her as far as the dam is concerned. I just look at a horse like this, and you brought up Street Cry's numbers with the first-time starters. I look at a horse like this, and even if she's working well, and even if everything sounds like it's going good, you can go into Formulator and you can pull up the career past performances as far as the workouts are concerned. And I have the first workout listed as a furlong in March of 2016. And then there's just an absolute encyclopedia of workouts, and I've yet to see a race. There's just one of those things that, to me, at whatever price she's going to be, if she wins this time out, I'll tip my cap and say, good on whomever had her. I want to see one.
She's a half to a multiple stakes place sprinter named Prognosis. Now, I have not been able to check out the Clocker report, which will be available for this race, probably around Wednesday night. But it looks like she's been working in company with Bendable for Mandela, and we know that Bendable's a legitimate stakes source.
Yep.
Copper Fever might be able to run, and Pratt is enticed to ride. The 3 Red Shelbys raced 5 times on turf. Peter Miller's decided, well, let's try something different. This horse has shown some big speed on turf and is getting blinkers. It's no surprise that she tried turf. She's a half to egg drop.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing for me. This almost feels like, well, if she couldn't step on the turf, being a half to a grade 1 winner, an egg drop, is this just the desperation move? The blinkers go back on. We try a different surface. I'm not totally familiar with greatness as a sire, but I'm just going to kind of look at this and say they're trying something different because the turf isn't working.
Dam won a couple of times on the dirt, but again, the big name in the pedigree on turf, but she should add some speed to this 5.5 furlong party, along with the 1 Dutton's Legend, and perhaps along with the 4 Wild at Midnight, who got bet down to 7-5 for her career debut way back in May. She got involved in a pace scrum. There were 3-4 other horses battling it out for the lead. She emerged with the lead on the turn, and then she was run down by a horse that I know you like a little bit. That's Just a Little Hope. She's been away for a long time. She's bred to be a sprinter. Her dam was a stakes winner going short on the dirt. If Wild at Midnight is ready off the layoff, and some of these Baffert works look fast, she could be dangerous.
Absolutely. I mean, she's one of the more understandable horses in here for Baffert. I know it's been a long time, but with a guy like Baffert, it doesn't really bother me. He usually has him ready to go. You brought up the winner in that most recent start, came back and earned an 80 on turf, so at least the form looks like it's holding up in there. Highest last out buyer with an 83, and that was in the career debut. If you think there's any sort of forward progression here, she makes a lot of sense.
But she's going to have to deal with the layoff, and you got to think going 5.5. She's got to be forward coming out of the gate with other speeds. Maybe another duel is coming for Wild at Midnight. The 5 Life of Illusion is another horse coming off of a long, long layoff. We haven't seen her since June, but trainer Steve Miotti's done pretty well with this kind of move, as we see from this formulator fact. Over the past 5 years, horses cutting back in distance off long layoffs, 40% and over a $9 return on investment. Now, this horse did improve stretching out around 2 turns. Maybe this is just a prep for something longer, but the dam's a half to a grade 3 stakes winning sprinter named Gemswick Park.
You know, I don't know. I kind of looked at this and thought maybe this was just a means to an end. Let's get a race into her and stretch her out in distance. But if this is the plan all along to have her be a sprinter, I just can't help but think she's going to be completely outrun early on. And usually it's one thing if you're going 6, 6.5, 7. 5.5, if you're outrun early, you're going to need the pace to absolutely melt down to come with a run late.
Jerry Hollendorfer as a first-time starter. That's the number 6 Fluorescent, a $60,000 yearling purchase. I look at this pedigree, at least on the bottom, and I think long distance. Harlan's Holiday, 12% winners, older debut runners. The dam's a half to Uncaptured, who won the Prince of Wales, second jewel of the Canadian Triple Crown, and a stakes winner named Dancing Raven, who was versatile, could win sprint, route, turf, synthetic. Big gaps in some of these work tabs.
You know, I can echo basically everything for Fluorescent that I spoke about with Copper Fever, where, you know what, if this horse runs and she's ready to go, so be it, tip the cap. You brought up there's a year gap in the tab at one point, and I know she's come back and she's strung together a number of consistent works, but I just kind of look at her and say another instance where prove to me that you can run.
Tiz Toffee, the number 7, really didn't do much wrong in 2 starts last year as a 2-year-old, finishing second both times, 67 buyers both times. Questioned the competition she was in against, but now she's with Phil D'Amato, and here's the D'Amato formulator fact: 61 to 180 days off the trainer change dirt sprinters. Light data, 40% winners though, a 416 ROI. This horse has shown speed. I'm not sure she's shown that Southern California speed.
Yeah, and you know what? I can't really sit here and knock anything that she did in either one of those 2 starts, but I just look at it and say, for one, what you just brought up, the fact that now she's going to be trying to chase down some real serious Southern California gas, and also the 2 fields that she faced, the one at Keeneland and the one down in Louisiana, neither one of them was very strong. I know in Rage, the winner in that career debut earned an 82 in her next start, but the other horses in those 2 races, they're just not very good. So I think she's going to be facing a world of different animal.
Baby's got class as a first-time starter. That's the number 8 by Art Chart, who clicks with about 11% of his older debut runners. This dam was very precocious. She won her debut at 2, and she was also grade 2 place sprinting on the dirt as a 2-year-old. And this dam is already foaled a stakes place turf sprinter. This one worked 6 furlongs out of the gate in 112. She has license to be fast, but she's facing some fast and inexperienced horses as well.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. I mean, even if she showed a little bit of foot in that 6 furlong workout 2 starts back, 2 works back, and you brought up the fact that she's got a little bit of pedigree, I just kind of look at it and say it's one thing to be fast in the morning. It's another thing to be fast with some of the other speeds drawn directly to your inside. I don't know that she's going to be able to outfoot those girls to make the front.
Another quick one is the 9 Gracious Me. Beaten favorite in her last 2 races, but she's taken on some good competition. Last time out in against Spring Lily, who returned to be a well-beaten 3rd in the graded Santa Isabel, but she earned a 77 buyer speed figure. Another fast one. This dam was a multiple stakes winner at Emerald Downs. She got figs in her debut and in her second start.
Yeah, if she runs either one of those or something close to them, mid-70, high 70, she's definitely got a puncher's chance in here. You brought up Spring Lily. You go back to that debut. Hims is a decent runner. She ran into her and wasn't totally embarrassed, finishing second. Another interesting scenario to find out. Drawn toward the outside, I don't think you're going to be on just a complete send mission. I wonder if she has the ability to sit a little bit and maybe a couple of those horses to her inside, if they take the starch out of one another, maybe she could inherit it, turn them for home.
Similar profile as the 10 Pretty Owl, who ran good figs in start 1 and start 2. Last time out got cooked. That race preceded a long layoff. Maybe something physically went wrong, but she was in against a good one. Marley's Freedom, after winning that maiden race, came back and just did one race after one race after one race where she ran very well.
Yeah, I think she faced a pretty good group in that most recent start, and clearly something went wrong. You don't just put a horse away from September to March. I'll admit, this is more for me, nothing other than I don't I like this horse when she debuted. I liked her second start. I think there's something here. Who knows if we're going to get it off the layoff? But again, if anybody's going to have him ready to go off this type of layoff first start as a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old older horses, it's probably going to be Baffert.
But you got to give a hoot about the price. Where are you going with the 10 Pretty Owl from a price standpoint?
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to bet this race because I assume Wild at Midnight is going to be the favorite or one of the shorter numbers in here. The question is going to be, do they bet Copper Fever if she is working well and she's been working with Bendable? How much money does she take? Does the Hollendorfer horse? I have a feeling she's probably going to slip through the cracks a little bit. She might be a middle 6, 7, 8 to 1 number. I don't know if Pretty Owl goes off in that range of 3 to 1, 7 to 2. I think that's probably fair.
And then we're forgetting the drop down with speed, Dutton's Legend, and Gracious Me, who's run some 2 races. So this is a really nice race for a Thursday afternoon at Santa Anita. We throw our picks up. You're going to go with the number 10, Pretty Owl. Wild at Midnight ran that fig in her debut. I like the way she took some pace heat. Not going to be a lot of value here in the multiple race wagers. Maybe I'll try to sneak Red Shelby into the number for Peter Miller and Victor Espinoza. Again, I know she's a half to egg drop, but this dam did win a couple of times on the dirt. I'll go 4, 3, 2, and 6. If you're playing Santa Anita on Thursday, DRF Bets has an offer for you, $150 sign-up bonus. Just go to drf.com/join, promo code TV150, and approximate post time for race number 8 at the Great Race Place on Thursday, 3:30 Pacific. Good luck.